All right, we got another follower submission. This one is titled, Am I the Astronaut for Not Wanting to Help My Husband When He Asked for It? The title sounds bad, but let me explain. I, 27 female, am married to E, 26 male. This summer, we will celebrate our 5th wedding anniversary. However, we've been more like paying roommates lately. We'll go ahead and red flag that. We fell on hard times and moved in with my parents. My parents and I own a small bakery. It is my passion, and I love having my own store to do what I love and bake what I want. The store has been in business for almost 5 years, and it's been a rocky road. I do 90% of the work as we can't afford to hire other people with COVID hitting a few months after we opened and then inflation. Somehow we've managed to survive. However, an important part of the story is that I can only be paid $200 per week, and it's been this way for 3.5 to 4 years. We just aren't making enough, so I can be paid more for the amount of work I do and the amount of hours I am at the bakery. I should be getting close to 65 to 70 hour paycheck. I do the baking, cake decorating, sandwich making, shopping, and cleaning, but I continue on because I see the progress the store is making, and sometimes I'd rather that money be put towards more products and ingredients. My husband, on the other hand, has always had an issue with this amount. He had a good paying job making $750 to $800 per week. However, he was terminated in the beginning of the year, so now he started working part-time and is only receiving $650 every 2 weeks. We have 2 small kids, male age 3, female age 1.5. We have close to $20,000 in debt, credit cards, and a car loan, and 1 income. He's been asking for 4 months for me to close the bakery and get a paying job. I've done the 2 jobs, the bakery and some other baking job, and it's extremely hard on me. I've only lasted a few months at the job before getting overwhelmed. I'm trying really hard to make my store, but he's insistent that I get something else. I would say I'm a traditional woman, and I think the man should provide for the family, and my parents feel the same. My husband grew up an only child in a broken home and has had a lot of problems with his family. At times, he was given all name brand stuff and whatever he wanted, and sometimes I feel it's the same thing. He wants what he wants, and he throws a tantrum when he doesn't get his way and doesn't understand that I'm trying to do this for our family. My husband and mother have not been getting along for the past few months for a few different reasons, and I'm fed up with all the back and forth. I am always in the middle of their argument, trying to diffuse the situation. My mom watches our kids while we're at work Tuesday through Saturday, 7 to 10:30, used to be until 3 p.m. My mom feels unappreciated by my husband for what she does for us, and my husband feels belittled by her. Nothing he can do is enough for her. He cleans the common areas we share. She nitpicks that he missed something or that he did laundry on her day, petty little things. The final straw for him was when she accused us of lying to her about the time he gets out of work. I told her 10:30 because it's a 20-minute drive for him to get home, and sometimes he'll stop at the bakery to get lunch to either take back home or quickly eat it there. He hasn't eaten all morning, maybe just a coffee. I feel like no matter what, I am the asshole to someone, either to my husband because I won't leave my store I've worked hard to establish to help him pay our debts and bills, or to my parents who have not only helped work at the bakery but have funded the bakery since day one. P.S. My parents are not rich. My dad does taxes and sells life insurance, so he knows a lot about money and finances. So am I the asshole for not wanting to get a second job to help my husband? Small business ownership is tough. It is one of the toughest things that you could ever decide to do. That's why one of the lines that I had in that laundry video that I posted a little while back, which was not a story, it was just me being funny about doing a massive load of toddler laundry. I was worried that this load of laundry had aged me rapidly, like being the president of the United States or a small business owner, because I equate those two things at a similar stress level. The buck stops with you. Even if you have a team of employees, it's all on you. It is an insurmountable amount of stress, and it will put you through the ringer. However, the flip side of that is that there's nothing more rewarding than being able to grow it. And your timing is the tough part here. Like starting it off right before the pandemic. You survived through the pandemic, though, which is cool. Congratulations for that. And you've survived through one of the hardest times that we've seen in business in our living history. I will never tell you to walk away from that. But I will tell you that as a small business owner, you can't always rely solely on your small business for income. There is a need to diversify. There is a need for a side hustle. It doesn't have to be a second job. It can be a side hustle, but there is a need to do that. Now, your husband here, that situation with your mom is difficult, and that would be tough if you were staying with them now and mom and he are not getting along, but it also sounds like he's never been hungry. And if he was given everything growing up, like you said he was, and if that's kind of the vibe that you're getting from him now. It may just be that he's never been hungry and never really had to work his butt off to achieve something. And if that's the case, relying on him to lead here may not happen. You may have to step up the lead. And I understand your old school mentality about, saying that the man should provide for the family. Luckily, Candy Thunder hasn't had that viewpoint for us because we do everything as a team. And maybe that's one of the options that you need to explore here. As a small business owner, it is certainly a lot easier if your partner is on board with you and you guys do this thing together. There's more risk involved because now both of your incomes are dependent on it, which increases the need for that side hustle too. So it's tough. It is tough as hell. It is one of the most stressful things you will ever flip and do. It's also one of the most rewarding though. So don't walk away from it. You do need to focus on growth though. And at some point you have to start looking at this and say, look, what's sustainable in a small business? Like, what is my time worth? What are people willing to pay here? And you may have to increase some prices because it has to be worth your time. It has to be something that you can sustain making a living at. If you're doing all the work and you're still not able to make anything with it, then you're probably going to have to increase some prices and decrease some cost to make it work. But you have to start looking at the number side of things there to make it work. If you don't want to do that and you want to ride this out until you get the customer base built up, if you just don't have enough customers, if that is the focus, really growing the base and growing the business, then you can't rely on it to feed you. You're going to have some other side hustle to keep income coming in so that you can still grow. It's tough. It is really freaking tough. It's absolutely possible though. The other part-time, either he's watching kids, coming back and taking over for grandma, or he could be jumping in and helping with the bakery as well. The specific question was, am I the astronaut for not wanting to help my husband when he's asked for it? What was the help part? Yeah, that's a weird way to phrase that question. How you phrase it at the very end and say, so am I the asshole for not wanting to get a second job to help my husband? It's not helping your husband. It's for the family. I think that mentality is going to be tough and divisive. You probably need to get rid of that worldview. Otherwise, you're going to be a you versus me instead of an us need to achieve this thing. And the teamwork aspect of it, especially since you're a small business owner, is going to be absolutely critical. You got to start thinking about this as a team approach. It's not a him versus me thing. It's 2023. And while he may feel and society may feel that it's, the primary responsibility of him to be the provider, it's on both of you. And if you want to grow this business and be a small business owner, you have to think about it holistically as how it affects your family.